Penny for your thoughts.
I hate Brenda, and a bad guy hit me in the shin, and I peed all in my pants.
There's nothing a little music can't help. Rockin', rockin' and rollin'. Down to the beach I'm strolling. But the seagulls poke at my head, not fun. I said, seagulls, stop it now. Everyone told me not to stroll on that beach. Said seagulls gonna come, poke me in the coconut, and they did, and they did, had me going like, nothing I could do but yell when these birds attacked me. When I tried to run, I fell, and then these kids started laughing, and then got hit in the neck with a hacky sack. Where'd it come from? Now run, 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 jump. I can be a backpack while you run. Run, 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 jump. Can't stop, put me down. I love to groove and boogie. Yeah.
Great.
Show you some dance moves.
No, I don't want you to.
If I had your giant feet out there on the beach, could have outrun those birds.
You're a psycho wiener.
Let me grab my beater.
Stop it, please. Don't hit me. Please. Don't hit me.
Come on, man, quit that banging.
Hey, what's that stank?
You put a fish in our basket.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I did that.
You owe me an apology.
Just hold your breath and see when the time is right. Birds will back your face. Now run, 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 jump. I can be your backpack while you run. Swing from a hairy vine. I can be your backpack while you climb. Stand on one hand and lift rocks with your special gift. Run, 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 jump. Now breathe. That's good. Like that. Like that. One day I was walking and I found this big log. Then I rolled the log over and underneath was a tiny little stick. And I was like, that log had a child. Listen, boy, someday when you are older, you could get hit by a boulder. While you're lying there screaming, come help me, please. The seagulls poke your knees. Stop it now.
Yeah, what?
Do not wear that outfit again. But if you wanna keep your spleen, because I want to fit in. Sorry, you're just not terribly important to me. Did you know that Whitney Houston's debut upbeat her phone number one single song? Did you know that Christy, there are no girls with good personalities? I don't think we should see each other anymore. It never was supposed to be. Gotta return some videotapes. Have to return some videotapes. Did you know I'm utterly insane? I like to dissect girls that ate some of their brains. Gotta return some videotapes. I'm really late. Gotta return some videotapes. I guess I'm probably returning videotapes. Gotta return some videotapes. I guess I'm probably returning videotapes.
Welcome, everybody, to Appreciating Comic Book Art Live, Tuesday, 10 o'clock. Here we are.
Right now.
I know, sorry.
Right now.
Yeah,
Hey! It's not
I was trying to think of the other part of it.
Come on.
Oh, we lost Kayla.
Oh, I'm out.
Yeah, oh, shit, I guess it's just me. You know what? This is therapeutic for me because I've had the flu for the last 4 days. This is the best I've felt in 4 days. I've lost like 8 pounds. Hardly ate anything. So here I am. I'm excited. I was afraid I was going to miss this show. But because of that, because I am still feeling a little under the weather, we're probably not going to have as long a show as we usually do. So we're not going to do any watching of art today, unfortunately, I'll have to say. But we are going to look at some awesome comic books. And just so you guys know, Kayla, so she had a friend who there you go. She's back.
I don't know what
are.
happened.
I was just about to explain your situation. If you wanted, you probably do it better than I do.
My friend had a baby, and I am watching children overnight because her mom is in another country, and that way her fiance can go and be with her for the evening. So I'm here.
Very cool. Super. So yes. Sean, how's it going?
Baby.
Man?
It's going good.
Bro.
Doing good.
Bro. All right. You ready for this?
Well, and am I not ready for talking about shit I like?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Like if it's something else, it's like, oh, let's let's deconstruct Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Not about it. But
Yeah.
you know, this gets me rock hard in the rocks.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And I got really nice eyes. Like I didn't know how blue they were, the way the lighting is. So I'm just looking at myself talking. I like it.
That's all I ever do. Very vain. Wait.
Vain,
Narcissistic,
cautious,
but never
adventurous.
vain. Is what I mean. We got Mark in the house. Hail, Mark. Good to see you.
Hail, brother.
Opinion Nerded. Wildcats,
Nice.
Cyberforce, and Wetworks. Yes.
I'm with you on
Yes.
that. I'm
My
with you
three
on that.
favorites.
GM. Hail.
Hell.
Let's see. Got
Wait.
Oh God.
Tentacle.
Welcome
Now we can
to the
start.
show.
Now we can start. Now it
As
feels
always,
good. All right,
as
I'm with the
always.
shits. Let's make this happen.
Got Tarks9, member of the channel.
Yeah.
Hail.
Hell yeah.
Nicholas Gear.
What's going on, brother?
Jeez. Hail, brother. Good to see you. Got Kai Bear in the house as well.
What's up, buddy? We'll see him on Thursday.
Badass Turner himself. Hail, y'all. Hail
Yeah.
to you. Hail to you. The Astro Zombie, another member of the channel.
see
Thank
you,
you so much
brother.
for being here. Jay Lee, whose book just dropped, The
Yeah.
Steins. Everybody go check that out.
Oh, sweet. Drop
Help
the,
that get
the
to
link.
its goal. I
Nice.
think he's a
Very cool.
moderator. Yeah, you can drop the link.
Yeah.
I'm
Cool.
pretty sure he is. Snake Dog's in the house. Hail. Hail,
What it
guys.
be?
Good to see you. Oh no, Kayla dropped. Oh yeah, she dropped for a second. She back now. We got
I'm
Jay
back.
from Desolate Souls
What's
in the
up,
house
Jay?
as well.
Hell, had a great time
You
on
guys.
Friday with you and John. It was good times.
Yeah, we got
Yeah, they have a
Jasper
fun
playing
show.
9.
Hell, Jasper, good to see you, brother.
Well,
Amen.
brother, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see if we get down here. I think I got everybody here tonight. Yes. All right. So, you received a Wreck Planet. Mine's coming
Nice.
tomorrow. Well, at least that's what the tracking number said. It would be here tomorrow. So
Oh,
I'm
I gotta
excited
check to
about
see if
that.
mine's on the way. I hope it does.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because
Yeah.
I backed that thing like 4 times. I should be getting
Oh,
like
sweet.
4 of those little Cyber Frog
Nice.
figurines. You know.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be
Yeah.
awesome. What did you think,
Long time
Jasper?
coming.
Was it good? I'm sure it was. My pre-launch and sign up is live on Vigilantes Creed.
Oh,
Here,
drop
let
the
me
link if you can.
let me mod you up so you can
yeah,
drop
yeah.
a link. Yeah, there you go. Should be good with that. All right, guys. So here's what we're doing. Image Comics turned 31 years old this year. Last month. Wait, no, this month. Beginning of
This
this month.
month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy,
This month.
crazy. And we didn't do anything really for it for last year. We just didn't get around to it. I wanted to do something for the 30th and it just never happened. So we're just doing that now. We're gonna look at the number 1 issues of the Founding Fathers that they released in '92.
That we like.
All except Shadowhawk. And nothing against Shadowhawk. It's just wasn't my favorite art. So it'd be hard for me to flip through and be excited about it because I collected it, right? Because it was an image book, but I didn't really
It was my first Image book.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And I tried to return it. And the guy wasn't happy. I'm like, this sucks though. It's like, all right.
But yeah, so Shadowhawk's not in this one, but we substituted that with Wetworks because Willis Portacio was one of the original seven that broke away from Marvel.
And
Was one of
Wetworks
the
is
original
awesome.
and Wetworks is awesome. And he missed the launch because his sister passed away, and he ended up going and dealing with family stuff. So he didn't come back with Wetworks until 94, I think. And he at that point, I think, sold the rights to Wildstorm or to Jim Lee and Wildstorm. So we still consider him one of the founding fathers. And if it wasn't for the untimely passing of his sister, boom, he would have been there in 92. So we're going to throw that in place of Shadowhawk. Snake Dog said Wrecked Planet was really.
Did you say Shadowcock? I'm sorry.
Shadow Crook.
I thought you said Shadowcock.
Somebody that we're going to be. No, I can't say that. Never mind.
Oh, we got his first of 4 packages Sunday. I hope I'm getting. I hope I get them all at one time. That'd be cool. Leave me alone. No, please, no. Says good evening, you guys. Did I say that right? Leave me alone.
Leave me alone, please. No.
Please no. Okay, no, please no.
Cool.
I added a
extra
no.
no.
It just seemed right?
Destiny's Child.
Okay. We're gonna jump into this because again, I'm just getting over being sick and having the flu, and I might be a little goofy and hide. This is the best I've been feeling. So we're going to jump into this. I know a lot of people are streaming tonight, so everybody, thank you for being here and spending time with us. That means a lot. Please remember to smash that like, hit the bellification. Going to make it work.
Drop the link to this show into their channel. See what they say.
Ooh, yeah. Spam other people's
Spam those fucks.
All right, here we
This is
go.
our friends. No.
Yeah, we're just joking.
Yeah.
Can we say Dale was an unofficial 18th founder? Or 8th founder. 18th. What is he? 18th?
No, I would go with
Couldn't
like
say he was
second
couldn't say he was a
generation.
founder. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would say second generation for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the
that's
founders were the
17th.
founders. I mean, they're the
Yeah.
ones that created Image, created the rules, so that's all that can really be considered. Portacio was there. He was in that process. He just was not able to participate.
You still got the card in there?
I've got so many
Mhm.
copies of Youngblood, like all these are
Yeah.
just I got so many copies. I can just go in any box in my collection and find an Image #1 because anytime I see them I pick them up. So
Yeah.
there are some that have cards from like when I was a kid and then others that don't. So this was just probably one I bought whenever, like I always buy an Image #1.
I remember asking Rob, what's the best way to start off doing a page to the panel? And he's essentially redrew that first building.
Oh, the first page?
Yeah, he's like, that's all you really need. I'm like, all right.
Tricks of the trade. I love it.
Yeah.
Parker Luck. Oh, I'll just say Matt Bird. I have Wildcats 1, Spawn 1 from the Top Cow Productions, Witchblade 1 in honor of Mandy Summers' Gem Shock. Nice.
Cool.
Nice. I've got, I mean, shit, my Image collection is the biggest compared to any other company, but
Yeah.
specifically we're looking at the 92 releases of the Founding Fathers because it was just a huge time in comic books.
We were at the
in that-
perfect age. Like, it just makes you want to create
excitement.
comics. Yeah, just
Exactly,
exciting. Like,
100%. And that's what I was going to say. You can look at this stuff and, I mean, whatever you feel about certain artists.
just like you get anatomically incorrect. Shut up, nerd. This looks awesome. Look at the detail. Look at the perspective. Look at this.
And
This is so
the
exciting.
excitement of it, right? Because I mean,
Yeah.
coming off of like X-Force and X-Men and Spider-Man and like all that
Yeah.
stuff, and then the brand new company, brand new characters, the artists that you love, you've seen them depicting these new characters, and now they're showing up. It's more edgy, it's more cool, it's more violent. It's fresher. If it's extreme. This one, yeah, for sure, it's extreme.
This is what the comic industry is failing to do now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Creating new, I'm talking about like the mainstream comic industry, just creating new, fresh characters and excitement. So
There's Die Hard, one of the inspirations for Streets of Type 1. Sign for Type 1 on Indiegogo signing mailing list. Launching soon. Got some news coming up soon.
Hashtag don't
Yay.
forget about Sean.
Don't you said
Don't
it
forget-
before I did.
Don't forget that.
JOC says, want to bet Joe my image collection is massive. I'm sure it is, buddy. I'm sure it is. I
Size
don't
doesn't
measure.
matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't stand and measure with other guys on a regular basis.
See, this
Maybe
is the
every
stuff.
once in a while.
This is stuff.
It was
that's
cold
in
outside.
My dad's collection.
Mhm.
Besides, like certain things that I went out and bought on my own, so I'd have my own copies. Because I
Yeah.
was like a infant. I was a freaking.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you're
I was like 3.
a bit younger than us.
2. I was like, what was this 91?
92.
92. Okay, I was
92.
3 years old.
Wow.
But this
Yeah.
is like around the time I was first like going into comic books stores that I can really remember. So it was Red Lion Comic Shop and Newbury Comics, because Harrison's didn't open until 1995, I want to say. That's where I have most of my memories.
Chimera
Harrison's.
says, Chapel, fuck the world. Yeah, so this video, guys, is not so much us going to comment on the art so much, because we've covered a lot of these books on this channel before, but just basically talking about this time, because this time specifically was special for me and Sean being teenagers. And baby Kayla, yeah, you know. But this was when comics were fun and inspiring to me. Like, I have probably read these comics more times than I can think.
And
Or just
redrew
look at 'em.
these panels, these gestures. Just this is what it's all about. Look at it, just crouching down. You
This is
draw that, and then we made up our own characters off of this shit. You know,
Hell
this
yeah.
is like this is a stream where I wish I was at my house, because
So
my
you could
dad.
just be showing stuff off.
Well, no, it's more like
Nightgowns.
my dad,
Mm.
like the shit that he says about Image and how he
Oh.
explains it in comparison to like the stuff he was buying at DC and Marvel when the Image boom happened. Like, my dad is just like, Image fucking rocked. There was nothing like it, like comic book wise, that was coming out. You know,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's there was nothing like it. There was absolutely nothing like it, which is, I think, why it got so popular and so hated at the time by all the detractors. You know, we got Martial Arts in the house. Says, "Yo, what's up? Stopping by for a bit. Good to see you. Thanks for being
I hope
here."
I hope he
Appreciate
got
it.
his copy of Ronin too.
Oh yeah, wait, that doesn't come out till tomorrow, right?
No, Ronin 2 I think comes out next week, but
Next
no, he was
week.
gonna look for the first issue.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the cool
comic-
things about being, I'm sorry, go for it, Joe.
I was just gonna say, Comic Book One says, Joe, I have a CGC graded image book dated 1991. Can you guess what it is?
Was it the Malibu Presents book?
I was just
Or
about to
Malibu
say, if it's
Sun, something like
1991, it's got to be something before all these firsts.
I don't know. But the great thing about this,
I don't know.
like,
Let us know.
yeah, tell us why.
Tell
Like this, like when my dad was collecting comics, like when like Spidey, Hulk, Avengers, FF all came out, like same age bracket. So it was just a 30-year
Right.
difference, and him seeing me get into this from, like, it was just cool to see his experience with my experience and the mirroring of that, you know. But even like I was saying with Jay on Friday, like Image was a gateway for our generation, but like growing up with this, it was just kind of like, yeah, it was kind of expected. Like for me, like I was already collecting what these guys were doing, so being like
right, yeah.
10 when it was announced, it's just like, okay, like Saturday morning cartoons just got really more fucking exciting, you know.
I mean, when you think about this era, yeah, you got to think about the Saturday morning cartoons, because everything just popped around 92, right?
Yeah.
Like so many things happened around 92, and the biggest of them in the comic book world being Image Comics, and then just the revolution that was. So when I say like it was the best decade, or at least, you know, like say a 5-year period within the 90s in comics and entertainment, 100% was.
And look
100% was.
what inspired all these like Metal Gear games, not Metal Gear, but like all these Halo type of games. Don't misquote me. I don't know what they're fucking called, but you can see the gear, the armor. Like that's Cable. That's
Halo,
profit. You know,
Metal Gear Solid.
whatever. All,
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
Big gun shit these kids play. But yeah, like
Because
you see the anime influence.
those game makers were our age at this time, or a little older, and grew up to you know, get into the industry. You know, like it had a massive impact. All right, Comic Book One says he DM'd me. Where? Oh, there you go. I see it. Let's see what this is.
Don't
Oh, you got that, man?
I just
All right.
want to know.
I am
You
going
gonna?
to
I can
pause
tell us what
this.
it is or show us what it is.
It's going to remain a mystery. No, I think I saw. Did you share this on Facebook the other day? Was that you? Comic book one? Because I saw somebody share this or share something like this, and I was so jealous. So this is what he's talking about. He got the ash can,
Oh
one
shit!
of the original ash cans in '91.
Oh wow! I didn't know that came out in
Yeah.
actually '91.
I didn't even know this one came out, like this specific one.
There are a ton of
Like, I've
ash
seen-
Oh
cans
yeah,
like that
yeah.
Image put out.
yeah, but this like dated '91. You know that's wild.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah,
9.8.
That's
Just
so
yeah,
cool.
that
Oh.
is sick, man.
Hell yeah!
That is sick. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Appreciate it.
I like the frame that it's in. It's like in the CGC thing, and then it's framed.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I had jeez. Chimera and Snake Dog both kind of said the same thing. Original Chapel burned Al Simmons, but they retconned that to Jessica Priest. Yeah, and I agree with you guys. I hated that. But
Yeah.
you know, Rob was in Image. There was a big rift there. You know, Todd did his best to kind of passively aggressively
Face, yeah.
erase all that, you know.
Fuck
But
you, boy.
Same thing here though. I hated that because I also thought
Yeah.
that was a cool connection between their universes that they had that.
Yeah. Damn, I remember just redrawing these all the time. Shit, I'm still redrawing this shit for my book, Type 1. Male list.
See martial arts. Yeah. Nico. Sign up. Do that.
Have a good one, boss.
Link
Thanks
below.
for coming.
Link below.
Link below. Don't forget about Sean.
Oh my god. I really feel like I should take like, you know, like the WCW Raven. And he's like, "Don't forget about me. Don't forget about Raven." And like,
Oh, good
I
times.
don't know
you know,
what that is.
just you never watched wrestling?
I don't think he was a big
Like-
wrestling
like in the
fan,
80s and
bro.
90s. Yeah, early 90s.
This was
then
late
you should
90s.
know who Raven was.
Well, no, because Raven didn't come around really to the late 90s. ECW,
Whatever.
WCW.
I know
I remember at WCW, he was always like, "Don't forget about me.
Oh, no.
Don't
Yeah.
forget about Raven." It's like
He
the
was-
perfect "Don't forget about Sean" thing.
I like that. I'll find it. We'll find it.
We should find it.
Chimera brought up a good point. He says,
Mhm.
Melinda Clark in the Spawn movie was fine as fuck. So at least we got that. I agree.
Yeah.
You know what? I loved
do
the
agree.
Spawn movie.
I loved it at the time, right?
Yeah.
Because it was just like I saw it the first time I saw it, like this is the greatest movie ever. You know, like, Spawn.
I'm trying to think of when that came out. Like, it
97.
was,
96, 97. That's right. I was saying
It was-
96 for some
I was
reason.
gonna say I was like I think I
I
was
know,
7 when it came out. So yeah, I remember my dad took us all to the theaters to see it and everything. It was like so fucking cool.
I love
We're
these
gonna go
poses.
see Spawn.
I love these poses. I love the running. I love the knee. Oh, man.
I love Rob Liefeld.
I love Rob Liefeld.
Yeah. Love Rob Liefeld. Yeah.
Love Rob
Hell
Liefeld.
yeah. Hell yeah.
It's the energy. Look at the energy and
Yeah.
everything.
1000%.
It's all about energy.
And that's what
This-
these comics were just
like, look
energy
at
and fun
this.
storytelling.
Yeah.
This
fucking
is-
powerful.
Some crazy fucking Jim Starlin.
Yeah.
shit.
Can I
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
Can I say that this is the kind of stuff, obviously, that influenced things like Invincible, maybe even The Boys, because
yes.
Rob was
Oh,
like one of the
absolutely.
first guys to go hyper extreme, pun intended,
Mhm.
with some of his characters in his universe. You know, like the heroes would. I mean, this was the first time I remember reading this book as a kid. I'm like, holy shit, they're killing people out here. You know, like straight up murder.
It's kind of like in Marvel when he was doing, you know, his stuff with Marvel, he was more contained. Here it was like he just
I'm doing
cut
what I want.
loose completely.
Yeah.
Yep. Hail Sheldon said, I thought that Spawn soundtrack was the coolest thing back then. Still like it. It was a good soundtrack.
Trip like
Some
I
good
do.
songs.
Had
on
the
it.
Incubus song on it.
We got Comics Con's Comic Pit Stop. An awesome Aussie has 2 10.0 Pit 1. I'm so jealous. I can't get him to sell me one. That sucks. 10.0, really. That's great.
I remember the Friday when I got this. My dad brought this home from Manhattan. Yeah, and the issue 1 of this. I'm sure we had
So,
some sort of Chinese food. I
we
love
talk-
this shit. Love
We
this
talk
shit.
a lot of shit about Eric Larson now, right?
But
But
not
Eric
this.
Larson in the past, Eric Larson
Mhm.
in back in the day, was amazing. Like I loved his Spider-Man stuff, and then just Savage Dragon came out.
Look at that.
The Savage Dragon miniseries as a whole
Yeah.
is his best work.
Timeless.
Best work. And it's just fantastic all the way around. Eric does great action. I mean, they all do really good action, right? But his books are basically just an action movie. You know, some story that goes along. It's pretty, decent kind of standard story, but it's just an action movie, and that's kind of what it's supposed to be. And just beautifully drawn. Like I said, best work of his career in these in the first 3 miniseries here.
And that's exactly what you're going to find at Type 1. Sign up for the mailing list.
That's right. Hashtag don't forget about Sean.
No.
One thing that I really love is
I'm
all
sorry.
of the colors on these.
The colors in these are great.
The colors are
Yeah.
so vivid.
Pause this. Let me pause this here. This image right here is what made me not this particular, but images like this, right? Is what made me love Image Comics so much. The big in your face, double page spread, detail, the blood, because you weren't getting like this amount of violence in Marvel Comics or DC Comics at the time. Maybe here or there you get something that was a little shocking, but like Image Comics came around, they leaned into it, and like all their first issues. In Savage Dragon was an extremely gory, I guess, series going forward, and I loved it as a kid. I was, it was just something that just spoke to me, right? I was just like, oh, like this is what I love, right here.
They remind his cast of villains remind me of like Carnies, but he created so many.
Dude, he created
and they're awesome. Like I love early Savage. Look at that foot. That foot is fucking dope. But like I love Hale. Good
to see you. The
I
anime
love this
librarian, and we also got Ryan B in the house. Savage Dragon is a super badass. He was. I don't know about today, but back in the day, at this point, yes, 100%.
Like he's still kind of got like a weird Walt Simonson ish to his shit, but it's so anime though. Like just speed lines, detail, the nonsense.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I will say though, people still buy Savage Dragon because they said how the character grew and he has family members now. I mean, I haven't read it, but
I stopped at 250, but I haven't read it in years.
I stopped way before that.
I know the collector, like I need it, but I don't need it. And then finally I was just like, oh, I got the Rob cover, I'm good, I'm out.
I honestly stopped like around the 50s, 60s. Like as soon as he got into like that super team, he wasn't part of the police force anymore, and they were doing like these weird things. I didn't like that. It wasn't. Yeah. It was a different kind of storytelling, different kind of art than what I had loved about the series. And I will say that's one thing I don't like, the fact that his story continues, that he gets old, that he has kids, his kids grow up. It's just something I don't personally like because I don't like the characters that he has created, so that makes it not interesting to me. I would just rather focus on the character. I like the fact that comic book characters are kind of always frozen in time,
like timeless.
Timeless.
Timeless. You can just do infinite amount of stories. We got Blue Boy in the house. Says, evening, folks. I finished my Silver Age Doctor Strange 1 through 81 run, 1974 through 1987.
Ooh, you my boy.
There's some super trippy stuff in that run.
Nice.
I've never read it, but I've heard a lot about. Yeah.
It's super trippy. I don't know if everyone at Marvel was like dropping acid or something then.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there's some stories I've heard. I can't, just from various interviews of people that are just there was some
walking
stuff
down the street like
there's some stuff going on
and coming on.
There's some stuff going on back in that day in Marvel, and you can tell in some of the stories. We got Jerry in the house. Hale Larson was like Kirby on crack. Yeah, at the time I would say at this time, I don't know about now.
Now he was trying to be more Kirby.
Yeah,
I feel like he was trying to be more Kirby, but Kirby has a style that's like very hard to replicate. If anything, in Rob Liefeld's book that we just looked at, the Youngblood book, I saw more like Kirby-esque influence within that, with like foreshortening and how dynamic everything was.
Preach it.
I got more Kirby in the Rob Liefeld book. I'm just saying, like, I don't see it here in this Savage Dragon. I mean, the foot there, that sweep over there, but everything else I don't I don't really get that vibe. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Sure, that's
Here's,
what's great about this show because it's our. Oh my goodness, what
Oh,
the fuck is this?
see, Wildcats.
This is another another comic from Comic Book One sent this, and this is a there's a 9.6 Wildcats 1,
Yeah.
and that's like the animation, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna
Like
say, is
animated
that for
series?
the cartoon? Because they would put Jim Lee's Wildcats
Mhm.
because on the cartoon. Oh,
Mm.
that's cool too. I've
Yeah.
never seen that. That's dope.
That's pretty.
I still
sick,
like
man.
that cartoon. I don't give a fuck what everybody says.
Hell yeah, Wildcats!
Wildcats is great.
Wildcats! Got Chris Graves in the house.
What's up,
What's
brother?
happening, brother?
Tomorrow,
Hail to you.
CG Revolution, we're gonna be debuting the colored version of the Rising Pain Type 1 print colors by Z that Chris drew the shit out of. I can't wait to show everybody.
He says it's not interesting. Who is it? Let us know.
No, it's not.
I think that's Wildcats. That Wildcats is a reprint.
Okay.
Check that out. Yeah, tell us what it is. Comic Book One. I'm interested because I have not
Maybe,
seen
or I
that.
wonder if that's something that recently they did. If so, that would be the only good cover that came out of it.
Wait, was
That
Image on
might
there
be.
though? Because I don't think DC would put Image on anything.
That was Image.
It's not
That was an Image
licensed.
book. Yeah,
No.
yeah. That wouldn't be.
There you go.
that
Yeah,
was
that's
straight up
true.
Image book.
Unless maybe it was a con special or
Could be.
That
something.
could have been.
That's really cool. The flames.
One
Yeah.
thing I was kind of noticing as I was flipping through all these books is how incredibly diverse Image was without
Being
being forced.
yeah.
When you think about like all the different races of characters that they have in their books, it's really incredible. And the fact that it never was a big thing at all.
And the
Right.
illegal aliens. Yeah.
It never
very
was a
accepting.
thing.
It was never a thing because it just reflected the world. And it was,
Yeah.
and I that's why when people like try to make a big deal out of it today, I'm just like, go back to motherfucking 92, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And flip through a comic in 92 and you tell me.
That was something Chris Claremont brought up, actually. I was watching a whole bunch of Chris Claremont interviews over the weekend, and that was something that he basically said. He said, like, comic books had elements from the real world and then mixed with escapism, but now they've taken away the escapism factor, and they're just trying to go too real world, too political, to
look at
this,
Right.
to
I'm so
that.
sorry.
Like, so
Yep.
it takes away from the fantasy escape elements. Like, the stories aren't the same. That's why there's not great written stories anymore, pretty much.
100%. Go ahead, Sean.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, geek out,
I
man.
love how his villains,
it.
like, since they're based in Chicago, it's kind of like a little bit of Al Capone guys with superhero version. But I love that gesture. I
Look
love
at
that
this.
fighting. I love that little
Right.
hands. I'm gonna go
Look at
draw that
this.
later. I'm gonna find some place to put it in Type 1, and you go mail on the side up now, and just fucking draw the shit out of it because I am so fucking hyped for this. Give me more.
What I
Why'd you
love. Sorry, I'm going back. I'm going
Oh,
back.
okay.
I love. Oh shit! What happened to Kayla?
I'm here.
Okay, there you are. All right,
Where's the
disappeared for a
boobs?
second. Yeah, that was ass. Was what that was. That was a booty.
Oh, was it?
Was a booty. Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, I
okay.
love the fact that in Savage Dragon he used to smash the faces of the villains into walls like this. I just thought it was
It's so
always
awesome.
it's just a cool, it was a cool fact. We got Bordeaux in the house. Excuse me. That's a version of color, as you guys know.
And green
Yeah.
people.
Yes, green people. There was lots of green people. A lot of
So
green
there-
representation. What's going on, Jacob? We got Edwin in the house as well.
Yeah, but
Jay says Claremont. Yes.
Mm.
Yes, Claremont. And one thing I loved about Image Comics was that it had the kind of Marvel sensibilities that we loved, right? Just because obviously the image or the visuals, right?
Yeah.
But then it was just like turned up to like 11, brand new character. I'll tell you one thing: my original
I
Savage
love
Dragon
stuff
run
like this.
has none of these posters in it anymore. These were up on my wall
Nice.
for years,
Mhm.
right in front of my drawing table as a kid, as a teenager. Like it was some of the stuff that I just boom littered my wall with for a long time.
Look at that
So I was
gesture.
happy that foreshortening on that was great.
I love the posters like that they used to do.
Yeah, me too.
Someone needs to do that.
I wonder if anybody would actually pull them out though, if you put a poster in a book like that.
They'll just have to buy another.
Good point. Yeah, they'll have to buy one to pull the poster out.
Well, there you go.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll figure something out.
Mm.
Is that what's that character's name? Mighty
Money
Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
First
yeah.
transsexual
I was just
character.
gonna say that the first. Yeah.
And they never made a big deal out of it.
No, nobody gave a fuck.
No.
I thought it was
No,
kind
it
of
was
hot.
Eric Larson was on the cutting edge with some of this stuff, having the alter ego of that character be a woman, it was an interesting twist to things, I love this series. I love the books. I loved his characters.
That is
Like I
so
said,
fucking
probably-
cool.
Probably one miniseries to the first 50 issues of the ongoing series.
The bottom panel. I love that. That's so awesome.
Well, that's so like Clint Eastwood meets
It's like Arnold
Arnold meets
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold
Yeah,
Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
It's straight up 90s. It's like everything you would have seen in pop culture at that
The
time.
sunglasses, and then that page is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Love all the tiny rubble. I mean, come on. It was also, I think Eric Larson said that he kind of based the look for Dragon off of John McClane from the Die Hard series.
Really?
Bruce Willis, yeah, with the wife beater and the pants.
Mhm.
He said I remember reading articles when I was a kid saying like if they ever made a live action movie, he always wanted Bruce Willis to be the Savage Dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah.
You can't say that anymore.
Oh, Dragon, yeah, it's just Dragon now, isn't it?
No, wife beater. It's
Oh, yeah.
was it
Why can't you say wife beater?
Was that
spouse?
No.
Spouse.
That shit ain't
Fuck! I just had
happening.
something funny to say. Damn it!
Oh, well, sorry.
rethink it, and then come
Special
back.
edition
Spouse
comic.
aggressor.
Spouse
So it
aggressor.
says
Oh,
it
there you
was a special edition comic produced by Wildstorm in collaboration with New Way Youth and Social Services, the San Diego PD Street Gang Unit, and District Attorney San Diego Gang Prosecution Unit.
Interesting. Says it was given away by police force for free to the street use in San Diego. That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's
man.
awesome.
Nice.
That is pretty cool. Blue Boy says, was there a part 1 to it? There we go. The best man ass on a comics character. Easy. New 52 Aquaman. Man,
I
it's built
disagree.
big for days. I don't know about that one.
It's Silvestri's Wolverine cover
That's a good one.
for
That's a good
New
one.
X-Men. That is the best man ass on a cover. I mean,
Man,
he
booty.
has that is the best man ass on a cover. It is the sexy Wolverine that Silvestri did. He got his hat on, he got the tank, he got the tight jeans on his buns. Yes, that's what I say.
I'm having a hard time disagreeing with that because it's Silvestri.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see?
But I will say Brett Booth is drawing some pretty good man ass shots. I'm just gonna say Nightwing.
No one
Spouse
beats the
abuser
Wolverine
attire.
buns.
I could work with that.
I will go with Wolverine first. Yeah, we'll do that
Spouse abuse attire. What the hell?
because
You'd
nothing
be
stops gang
surprised.
violence like comic books.
You know what?
Well,
though? You'd be surprised because what can happen is that someone can find out that they have a passion for something just by looking at it, and it can give them hope to pursue some kind of dream.
that's
I mean,
true. You never
I
know.
grew up in a rougher area, so it was a lot of things ended up chasing things like people being introduced to sports,
Yeah,
like
that was
music
big, yeah.
programs happening, art programs happening. They definitely do, they do change some things for some people, not everyone.
What's the matter with you?
Joe just sent you a pic of a 9.8 CGC rated Shadowhawk 1 manufacturing error. We'll take a look at that in a second.
I love the build up to the whole issue 1 of this. Like it wasn't
Yeah, there
anything
you
like
go.
that was the coolest page up till
This
and then
is a
that
cool
became
page.
cool. The coloring. Well, hear me out. Because the design was cool, but it wasn't
Let me pause it
anything
while you're talking.
spectacular
too far.
in a
Yeah.
sense. Like it wasn't where we flipping a page or so and he's the reveal of who Spawn is on the roof the fucking rooftop. But like
Right.
he had the build up. He left you like what the fuck, like page turn while telling you what the story was gonna kind of build up. It's like I did it for Wanda, like what a great love story. Like I've always said Spawn's
It
love
is a
story
great
at the end of
love
the day.
story.
Like
It
at the end of
is.
the day, like what would you do to
Absolutely
for your
a love
wife,
story,
I don't know if I would, but to each their own.
but yeah, you're right. It's a love story in a horror comic.
Horrific.
One thing that's cool about looking at all these like back to back, just looking at the number 1s, is just seeing the different feels in different ways of storytelling with their build up of their characters and how they present stuff.
This is definitely more
Todd's by
darker.
far, yeah, I was gonna say Todd's by far was the most dark and unique of them all, because Todd's, you know, dealt in the kind of this horror world that they were getting into, where the rest were kind of like pretty much safe stuff that they had done for Marvel just turned up, you know. But yeah, Spawn came out and was so unique.
Spawn still sells really well to this
Here we
day. Most
go.
of them. The
It does.
Gunslinger one, King Spawn sells, the regular Spawn sells.
One of those characters is this
He's
timeless, honestly. You know, he's right
Loved
up
by
there.
everybody.
Yeah, right up there with all of the legacy names, I guess you could say, in the industry.
But
And
look
you
at
can
the
see
design.
him working on this page in the comic book greats with Stan Lee. I think it's the one with him and Rob, where he has it partially done, and Rob's trying to show it, and then you see Todd's kind of sliding the paperwork over to kind of like,
He's like, no, bud.
no, bud, no,
And
no, bud.
one thing, you know what I always remember? You know, like the
He kept
Spawn,
doing that.
the Spawn animated show.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah, that was
Sorry.
great too.
So you know how he always used to do the introductions?
I'm
Todd
Todd McFarlane.
McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane. I
Yeah.
love the opening of season 1 where he's inking it, like just
Yeah,
love
the
seeing
whole
how
time.
he does his technique.
Well, that's part. I used part of that in the Art and Stuff intro at the
You know
very
what I
beginning.
think, guys? I think we need to do a show on like some of the most iconic costume designs in comics, because I definitely feel that Spawn has a it factor
Ooh.
to this day, because
Hot take.
it's an iconic comic design. There was
I do
nothing
agree.
really
That would be a good topic. That would be a
Like
very
it.
good topic, and I think it would be good interaction too, because I'm sure everybody has different opinions on that. Hot take from Blue Boy says Gunslinger Spawn is hot garbage. I hate it.
I love it.
Ooh, I love
Look
the
at
art. I don't really
The
read
art
it, but I
is
love
good.
the art.
Yeah.
I love the art.
Joe, I don't really read. The only book I'm reading is Mark Silvestri's book.
That's true. That's true. Which, by the way, guys, no show next week because it's Valentine's Day. I almost forgot. So we will do the new Silvestri Batman Joker Deadly Duo issue 4 2 weeks from tonight, before I forget to tell everybody that. So no show next week because of Valentine's Day. Here is the comic book greats.
Yeah. This is like our YouTube. That's what our YouTube was back in the day.
Do you
Yeah.
ever want to call the number to see if it's still up and running?
Ooh, we should do that. We'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Imagine if it's like a sex chat line or something now.
That poster was up on my wall too. Just, you know. Everything in these early image books I ripped out because I didn't think about it at the time. I wasn't, dude, I don't collect comics to sell them anyway. I just collect them to collect them.
I like them.
Yep, because I like them.
I
I try to keep them in great as best condition as possible.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the image boom really was responsible, I believe, for how can I put it? Like these comic creators, they were like rock stars when all of this happened, when image was
Yeah.
booming, you know?
that's why it was partly exciting, right? Because that's what's different between then and now is you don't have rock star artists. Like you have some fantastic artists today, you know,
No, and
younger and veterans as well, but you didn't have their presence of what was at that time in the 90s, you know, like that rock star persona where people wanted to know who they were, not just their work. They wanted to know who they were, what they liked, you know, what they did on a daily basis. Like it went way beyond
What's your
comics.
favorite
and
color?
what's your favorite color? What do you shit like in the morning? That kind of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
Blue Boy
Inspired.
says, no, I said his gunslinger hat is hot
Is-
garbage. I love the artwork itself. Brett is killer on it. Yes.
can't read.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry, that's my bad.
I also too, it's like when you think about like who influenced the generation of comic book artists of today, it is these people here. When you
Mhm.
think about it, I can't think of anyone like in current times, because people are still going to say Jim Lee, they're still going to say Todd McFarlane, they're
Yeah.
still going to say Rob Liefeld, they're still going to say the majority of people that were over here at Image. I mean,
Yeah.
who now is really influencing people? Like if you think about it,
I don't know. I just go back to these guys. I could give a fuck about who's out now.
and all of these creators, for the most part, all of them were influenced. Key influence in a lot of them was Arthur Adams.
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here's one of the first advertisements of Pitt.
Mhm.
It was in the back of Spawn.
So
number
cool.
1.
Got George
Oh.
Perez Spawn.
I was just gonna say, followed right next to it by George Perez, pin up there, Spawn 2. I thought that was really cool. Forgot about that until I flipped through this.
Timmy.
Timmer.
And then it's like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, you're like, Jesus, like, what did this monster? Like, why is there a kid on his back? And if there's a justifiable reason, why can't I be that kid?
Yeah.
Fuck that kid. It should have been me.
I actually didn't know about Dale Keown until Pitt. And I've said that before. Like, I discovered Dale Keown through Pitt because I was never a big fan of the Incredible Hulk as a kid. But I saw Pitt one day. It's probably in the back of Spawn or one of the early Image books, and it was just like, boom, I was sold because the character design. Again, if we do that show sometime in the future, you know, Pitt's definitely going to be one of the guys.
So
this
is one of the comics I earliest remember. Wow.
Yeah,
I remember getting this the day before my 11th birthday at the Bergen Mall.
This was my favorite at the time because I was a huge fan of Jim Lee at the time. Like this point in my life, like Jim Lee was my favorite artist. I wanted to be Jim Lee. I wanted to be Asian. That's how much I wanted to be. You know, that's how much I loved Jim Lee at the time. I remember being upset because my younger brother, who me and him were both adopted different families, but my younger brother, his name was Jim. His middle name was Lee. I was so
you tried to go to change the birth certificate?
No, I was just very angry that he just naturally had that
for
name.
no reason.
I was like, for no reason. I was like, you son of a bitch.
My brother's Jim Lee. Oh, you could have used that to get into conventions. Like, my brother's Jim Lee.
I should have. Yeah, I was so angry.
Dude, I love Warblade. Warblade didn't get enough love or existence in this series, in my opinion.
Yeah, for being such a fan, he got his due in Killer Instinct. Yeah, that was about it. You know, like because they saw that Grifter was like the most popular, and
because his design.
It was great design. Don't get me wrong. I mean, all these characters. All right, let's just say. All these characters are great design. This trench coat is timeless cool.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Timeless cool.
I'm with you, but I like T1000 more than anything. Oh my god, look at this page.
Yeah, I just love it. Again, like this, I poured over this particular book so many times. Drawing, I probably drew, like you said, I drew so many things from this, like poses and stuff from this issue.
That hand,
just learning to draw.
That hand, like on the last panel on the right, like. I drew that. I still draw that. I'm like, that doesn't go there. But
on Void's hand?
Well, no, the older dude. How he's like.
Oh yeah. I got you.
Yeah. Even that hunched over gesture.
I spent a lot of time drawing Jim Lee's hands that were like this. You know, like his weird, like because he did like these really weird. Yeah. Not weird, but just awesome like hand poses, like Magneto and Bishop and shit, or Spartan. I said Bishop. Yeah, but I thought this was just a really cool story too. Sorry, Kayla.
Oh no! I forgot what I was even gonna say. It's just like it's amazing to me how big Jim Lee became. Yeah. No, think about it.
Well, let me pause this real quick. Go ahead and finish your thought. There's so many Easter eggs in this panel here.
No, I'm just saying, like when you think about Jim Lee, where he first got started off, and then him doing this, and then just like who would have thought he would have been as huge as an artist as he is today?
Me.
You really?
Yeah. Oh, hands down. Like he was the best artist in the business to me. Period. In this time, and just continued to do that. You know,
all the fundamentals. Yeah.
Yeah, like I always thought he was going to go down as one of the best artists in the history.
Oh, he definitely will.
Yeah, but I knew it back then. Like it was not a surprise. Everybody I knew, it seemed like, and I didn't know that many people that. Don't get me wrong. There weren't a lot of people.
Well, you were homeschooled, so it makes sense.
I had a lot of friends, but not a lot of people were like reading comics.
Everyone in class. I thought you said everyone in class.
My brothers.
But I mean, like everybody was in love with Jim Lee at the time. At least that was my perception of the people that I knew in comics. You know, like Jim Lee was the top dog, hands down, no matter what was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, our John Byrne for sure.
I was too young. You know, I can't really speak on that. It just who would have thought? Because to me, this just was like cool looking stuff. You know, What I
Yeah.
really remember with Jim Lee was like Wildcats, X-Men, the X-Men stuff, obviously.
Okay.
And then he was working on like Batman. He became like Mr. Batman.
That was a game changer. Unfortunately, that's
That
all he continuously did. But
Yeah, unfortunately.
yeah.
But at the time, absolute game changer. Bordeaux says trench coat. Gambit wants his shit back, but it's cool. But yeah, Jim Lee helped design Gambit. So you see where that translated to Grifter. Grifter's basically Wildcats Gambit in the cool factor. You know, like everyone loved Gambit because he had a fucking trench coat, you know, and he had some awesome powers too. And he was a ladies' man. I love Gambit. Oh, anyway, spoilers. Or not spoilers, Easter eggs. So you got future home of Image Comics up there at the top right.
There, yep.
Let's see. We got Cyber Force. That's cool right there. I don't know what's under it. I don't know what that is.
Can't tell.
Lot of Sony endorsements.
Yorkshire exhibit. Is that what it says?
There's an X-Men 1.
That could be. Yep, a box of X-Men 1s there. Yep. You got a MA. Is that MAC? I don't know if that's supposed to be like McDonald's or something.
Sony Television, I see. Taco Bell.
Yeah, you got was that Miller Beer? I think underneath Extreme Studios down here.
You know what? The X-Men 1 was one of the best-selling comic books of all time, I believe.
All time. 8 million.
5 covers.
Yeah.
But although I am kind of like mad at Jim Lee for what he did to Chris Claremont. I can't forgive him for that.
I forgive him.
I can't.
I love Chris Claremont. Don't get me wrong, but like Claremont still had lots of stuff to write. But you know, the thing about that I didn't mind is that you had a budding superstar.
He tried to tell Chris Claremont, no, but what the thing is with Chris Claremont,
but people weren't buying the book for Chris at that time.
Yeah,
people were buying the book for Jim.
With Chris Claremont, he still wanted Chris Claremont to write for him, but he wanted Chris Claremont to write his fucking ideas.
Yeah, which makes sense because they created X-Men for Jim Lee. So you had Uncanny was Chris's baby, and then X-Men was created for Jim Lee. So that was always the gig. It was always his book.
Yeah.
So
Chris should be thanking him for these royalties.
Claremont should be thanking Jim for going on there for a #1 book that sold 8-point-some-odd million because of Jim Lee's art. You could have had Joe Blow Nobody writing that book,
and it would still be
$8.4 million. No disrespect at all to Claremont. I love Claremont.
Truth is truth.
But yeah, at that point, Jim Lee was the man for X-Men.
I still think that's like kind of like fucked up. Like, I want you to take my ideas and write them out.
He was a scripter.
Yeah.
Fabian Nicieza. He scripted Rob's story, what Rob wrote. What Rob broke down. What Rob
that's what they did back, you know, when those guys rose, that's what they did. They wrote the stories and then they hired scripters. They would come in and just do the script off their stories. And that's kind of what I think Jim Lee was hoping that, because I mean, honestly, you had the team of Jim Lee and Chris Claremont for years. You know, obviously that combination going X-Men is going to sell. Obviously, it's just boom, you know. But that was Jim's baby, you know, like that was what Jim wanted to do. And
yeah, but if you think
I see it a different way, I guess.
I think it's like if you think of who defined the X-Men, it would be Chris Claremont. Period.
Oh, 100%.
We hear you. We're not disagreeing with you.
We're not disagreeing.
What we're saying is
I understand.
the book was meant for Jim.
You're siding more with the art, guys.
Who the book was made for.
Yeah, we're siding with this specific book, X-Men, the ejectiveless, is that how Rob would say it? X-Men. You know, we're siding with that, not Uncanny X-Men.
No.
Not the writing, not the development of the characters, but the creation of the book was for superstar Jim Lee because he was bringing in all the money. So in that book specifically, him trying to work with Claremont, not having it work, and then basically ousting him to go on with what he was trying, I have no problem with. Because that was Jim's book. That's all I'm saying.
She's like, I'm done with this.
See, I'm no. I'm just like it's because I respect,
apples at your faces. Like how you like them apples.
I respect the stories so much. You know, you're coming more from like the art perspective. Obviously, like it's nothing against, but it's the stories.
Yeah,
for me. with the X-Men stuff stories.
I respect that fully.
We hear you.
What's still no, just kidding.
We hear you, but we don't read, so it doesn't matter.
The kayfabe
We
guys that it's possibly a Dennis the Menace comic sold 10 million comics. It's possible a Dennis the Menace comic sold 10 million comics.
Probably because
Probably
it was a comic strip at the time. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, look at that gradation.
That is so cool.
Yeah, the amount of detail on each shard is very cool.
It's
Very
really
cool.
weird streaming on the phone. I just want to say
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
it's
Forgot
really
you're on the phone.
weird, like very weird. I can't read the chat. I can't anything. I feel like I'm here, but I'm not here.
Oh yeah. That's
Oh,
good.
now
Jerry's,
Jerry
Yeah,
has an opinion for
exactly.
you.
Jerry's coming in. He said Jim
Yeah.
was already plotting credits on Uncanny, so not a big jump to plot before the scripting on X-Men.
He just dropped his balls on this
He was
conversation.
just like, boom.
yeah.
We love you, Kayla. We do.
She's like,
Claremont knew the takeover was in effect. Reconsidered his X-Men characters drawn by Lee, the Upstarts. Reconsidered his X-Men characters drawn by Lee, the Upstarts.
and here's
I'm
Deadpool.
lost at the end there. I'm not quite sure what that means. Somebody explain it. Am I not getting that? Help me out, people. Claremont knew the takeover was in effect. Reconsidered his X-Men characters drawn by Lee, the Upstarts.
I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah, clarify.
What was-
Okay,
I know.
I'm glad I'm not
Ups-
the
Clarify
tarts?
that because
Ups-
I'm confused.
tarts?
Yeah. There's
Even
there's
I'm confused on that one.
Deadpool. Okay, good. I was hoping I wasn't the only one. I was like, I know, I'm dyslexic. I know I smoked a little bit before the show, but yeah, just clarify that a little bit, Bordeaux. I do want to know what you're talking about. Hellspawn, hell of an awesome character.
Mm-hmm.
Another cool character with a ripped up cape. You know I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. This is the reason why I loved Wildcats so much. I mean, they had one of the sexiest characters, in my opinion, in the early 90s with Voodoo. I mean, come on. She was a former stripper. How is that not the coolest ever?
She's a single mother trying to pay her way through college to be a lawyer.
Oh, it's in reference to a team in Marvel called the Upstarts.
Starts.
Okay, I guess I haven't heard of that. Interesting. And hail, Dominic. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I will have to look more into that because I don't think I've heard of that. This pose right here, I think is probably the coolest pose you could ever put a gunslinger in. Just this jumping, falling, rolling, just energy dynamics to this pose. Hard as hell to draw too. I mean, honestly, it really is.
No, just look at that and just put your own shit on it. That's what I do.
The Asian X-Men characters on the outside. Yeah. Okay. Now I know what you're
okay.
talking about.
Okay. I guess I didn't know that.
Oh, was he trashing Jim Lee because he's Asian? It's racist.
Maybe. Oh,
Disgusting. I can't deal with
cancel.
that.
Cancel.
Cancel. 30 years later, you cancel.
Yep, cancel.
And the next page is just awesome. The gesture of Warblade and Maul and
Yeah,
that's fucking
especially
powerful
Maul. Like I love
Yeah.
this jumping pose right here. Like that's power.
shit. Yeah.
Thick power.
Girthy.
Girthy. Veiny. Girthy, veiny, thick. Right here.
Yep.
And
yep.
just pile driving this dude.
Just
veiny, thick pile driving going on right there.
hitting the headboard.
This sounds like we're about to get some porn bots.
Oh, don't throw in this was a good time. We got a mod one of them one of these days.
Mod
What?
one of them?
Yeah.
Mob one of who?
One of the porn bots.
Oh, we haven't
Oh,
had a
no.
porn bot in a little while, actually.
Yeah.
Interesting enough. They come and go at weird times. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, there's a cyber force.
That I do.
Cyberforce is just so cool.
No, me, Claremont. It was definitely a reference to Lee and Co. No, me, Claremont. Roll 30 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, I know
Oh,
about
shit.
that.
I almost missed this. I drew this 100 times as well,
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to draw women. And
Right.
this is the image I would go to
This
to
is
try to
definitely
draw
something
chicks.
that I miss in comic books, like having to turn the comic like this and
Mhm.
have a nice full body page.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Well, Kayla, I know you and I have talked about that before.
Mhm.
Sean, I know you and I have talked about that with people in the chat in previous shows. And there's some people out there that don't like that anymore. And I'm just like, you're crazy. You're
I
crazy.
love
Like the
it.
coolest thing is to turn the comic sideways to see
Yeah.
just a
You can
I'm gonna
gigantic.
do it.
see so
Yeah.
much more.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this too. I'm like, "Phew,
Oh.
fantastic.
Just such beautiful proportions.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fantastically drawn. It's so good. Ending on a cliffhanger.
My eyes are up here.
Yeah. He's staring into a hot box. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The stories in these
You don't even want to know what I just thought. Please stop.
probably thought. Is that what you're talking about, Sean?
It would be
No,
That's not what you're talking about? Okay.
no.
There's another one of the Saber. Was it Saber? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Yeah. Home videos. Crap, what was I gonna say?
$5 off. Holy shit.
Ooh, let's call the number. Oh, I actually thought the stories in here were actually pretty good. They're entertaining. You know, like
Yeah.
the mini series here, like I don't think that they were that bad that people give them crap for.
So, what was your favorite of all of the image number ones?
Story or art? Where are we going?
I can
I
only
thought-
go art
I
Yeah.
was going to say,
because
someone's going to not read out of the two of you.
because I have read them before, but I haven't read them. Wildcats is still my favorite.
Yeah. I'm gonna get
Still-
shit from
probably
this,
still
but
my
yeah,
favorite.
probably Wildcats for sure. Just the
Yep.
whole vibe, the art, the story, the characters. Yeah. People be like,
Yeah.
aren't you a Rob Liefeld fan? Yes, I am, motherfuckers. But you know what?
Well, it's funny because when you
Wildcats
say
was the shit.
favorite, it doesn't mean that you don't like the others, right? You know, it's just
yeah.
so
People have
if-
feelings.
Right. If I had to choose, yeah, absolutely. Wildcats was my favorite. And then after that, it's kind of a toss up, honestly. Like I like them all so much, but Wildcats just had a special place in my heart when that came
Yeah.
out.
And this reminds me of like a James Cameron movie. Like
Yeah,
the Terminator, you know, just like the pacing, storytelling, and all that.
I really think that these guys were influenced a lot storytelling based on what they were seeing. And you saw some really cool movies coming out in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s with some very good storytelling. And I know they drew influence from a lot of the creators
Terminator
drew
1. Yeah, it was the
influence
song
from that
before.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a fantastic shot.
And this is probably
That's a
the
money
page
shot.
that he pulled out when he went to like Rob. He's like, I figured you guys out.
Yeah, right.
He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I know your tricks. He pulled out. He's like, oh shit.
Once he did that, it was over.
Yeah, no.
Over. It's funny because when you look at the number ones, there was like obviously like if you went the miniseries, like the Cyberforce miniseries, my favorite issue is probably 3. When Pitt guest stars, I just like the art all together. So Cyberforce 1 is not my favorite of the Cyberforce books, but I had to include it because it was just ones. But yeah, if I had to look at my favorites, it would definitely be 3. And same thing with Wildcats. I love Wildcats 1, but Wildcats 4 is my favorite Wildcats of the miniseries because I
That's a
count
good
5 as the start of the ongoing. You know,
Yeah.
the 4 was just incredible. They got there. You could tell because once the guys got a couple issues under their belt, they're drawing. They figured out the characters, the way they're drawing them more. Getting more comfortable with stuff, doing some cooler stuff. So you had Wildcats 4, Cyberforce 3, Spawn 4. I would say Savage Dragon 3 was awesome with the fight between Badrock, but 2 was great too.
Mm-hmm.
And then Youngblood 4
that was a game changer.
was awesome. So it was cool to see these guys continue to improve after a few months or however long, delays and everything it took, but however long it took. I mean, to see these guys continuously improve on their craft, which is why I said throughout the 90s, man, Image Comics had hands down the best art in the industry. Blew everybody else out of the water.
The colors are just on all of these books are incredible.
Cross promotion.
I think
believe
it is.
I think he did the first few issues. And
Yeah,
then he
I
might
do
have done
too.
some himself. Well, on the main series, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say I think it is, but I do. Yeah, you're right, Sean. I do think Mark inked some of himself as well. So, but I mean, they worked there at
Homage.
before it became Wildstorm. So I know Scott Williams was doing a lot of work.
I've drawn that pose many times with her with the gun like that.
Oh, I was gonna say which one, the Heat Wave or the
Yeah. Oh, the
that
Heat
one?
Wave, definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But of a ballistic.
I wanted to zoom in there at the bottom panel because those. Let me go back in just a second. Silvestri's
Move.
small figure work is awesome.
Mm-hmm. He's
I think all
moving
of
out
it's
the Mike
awesome.
Mignola style he was doing, because when he was doing Wolverine, he incorporated more of Mignola-ish, a little more blocky, square, more
Yeah,
shadowy shit. And like this is him kind of going back to like natural form physiques, like Jim Lee
right.
style, if you will.
Yeah,
That's
and this is
working.
probably a time he was getting heavily influenced by Jim Lee
Yeah.
because of what the audience was wanting at the time, and kind of
Right.
gravitating a little bit more drawing like that because he absolutely could, because he had the skill.
Mhm.
But yeah, those miniature characters there, just the forms are fantastic, and obviously everything he does is fantastic. But I was really impressed. It's not easy to draw small figures.
And the coloring is awesome on a bunch of these pages. Just look, I don't know, there's just something about it. Like it blends so well. Like you can see her cheekbone accentuated on the one that
You got some of the
ballistic.
my favorite colors too. You got purples and pinks and fucking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. That shit just looks good to the eye on a comic comic page. It just makes the art pop. We need to bring 90s style headbands back. I get you though. You're talking about like the face gear, like ballistic there and Gambit. Should do that. That was
a
cool
beautiful
style.
page.
Yeah, I like how they do the flashback too. Everything goes very, very saturated, except for the hair on
Yeah.
Velocity. Jeez, I couldn't figure it out. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. There's another thing too in these comics. They touched on some mature subject matter,
some deep shit.
Image. Yeah, like abuse and child murder, and like when you look at the when you look at the Image comics as a whole, they touched on some stuff that was subject matter they were avoiding a lot. Yeah, AIDS, with Chapel. Crazy. We're gonna do. Oh shit, we got Blackjack in the house. Hell, don't know why I got a notification that this was starting at 3 a.m. Really?
You're in the future.
Whoa, dude. What's it like?
Yeah, I still need pills to get. No, I'm kidding.
Well, good to have you here,
Awesome
Blackjack.
shot.
Appreciate you. We are just looking at the Image number ones. We looked at all the founding fathers right now. We're skipping Shadowhawk because I just was never really my favorite. No offense, none at
He's not gonna watch this.
Yeah, we're right. Yeah, there you go. But it was never my favorite. So we substituted that. We're gonna look at Wetworks next, which would have been Will Spertasio, would have been one of the founding fathers if it wasn't for a tragedy in his family at the time. So we're gonna honorary throw him in there, and it's a cooler book,
I create so many lightning energy characters just on this guy alone. On the right, I forgot his name, but he was so awesome, so cool.
It's just fun to draw, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jay says, you get your fish.
No, I didn't get the chance. Hopefully this weekend I will. But thank you. Lolo 2.0.
So here's the Wetworks book. This actually came out in 94.
Yeah.
Because like I said, of everything that Wills went through with his family, he ended up actually selling his idea to Wildstorm and to Jim Lee. So when he came back, he was kind of, I think they probably allowed him to do the story, but I saw that Brandon Choi was the plotter and scripter on it. So I kind of wonder.
Well, they were all
writing-wise,
dudes. Yeah, like
Shadowhawk sucked. Yeah, I was not a fan of it. Like I liked it because it was
I
image.
thought it
The
was
character
cool.
design was cool. The character
Yeah.
design was cool. I just never got into the art. The art
the
wasn't
later
top.
issues got cool. They had Walter McDaniel do an issue or two, and he drew a cool Shadowhawk. Who else? John Cleary.
see-
That was kind of wild.
I like this book too because it's dedicated to his sister on the inside there.
You gotta dedicate to them too. It's important.
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool,
Mhm.
And that's I mean that's the only reason why we all knew about it back in the day, because it put it out there. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of cool, just a bonding moment there with the fans and just sharing some personal family issues.
Mhm.
And then jumping into the art, oh man, Portacio was he was on another level with his lighting,
Mhm.
his rendering. I know he influenced a lot of the guys. Lee, McFarlane, Liefeld, he influenced a lot of the guys with his techniques when he was doing that. What was he called? Bounce lighting?
I believe that's what it's called.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called too.
What are you nerds in the chat? Let us know.
Yeah, bounce lighting. Anybody? Didn't like Shadowhawk, but when Jim Valentino did his image version of his Guardians of the Galaxy, the Alliance, it was good.
That was cool. I dug those. Yeah, I dug those. That was cool. Chance Wolf was a part of that, right? I believe. Wait,
Was
was
he?
that? I think
Nice.
no, the others. That's the others I'm thinking of.
We got Bretsky the Great in the house. Salute
Hell.
chat one. Salute Joe. Ugh. Sean and Kayla. Thank you, brother. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We know that there's a lot of people streaming tonight, and we appreciate everybody that's been with us this entire time, just listening to us ramble about Image Comics in 1992.
Our opinions.
It's basically what the show has been about. We haven't really gone in depth too much with the art like we usually do because we've covered a lot of these books before on this channel. So I feel like we've said everything that really needs to be said about these books. So now it's just kind of appreciating the time and place that we were
We're just
all
talking
at.
about what we like.
Yeah,
Except for
basically,
you if you
that's
don't
it.
like
It's,
it.
yeah, it's our
Here's our opinion. That's cool.
edge lighting. Was it bounce lighting or edge?
Where's
lighting?
Shelby?
Yeah, where is Shelby? I dropped him a link. He said he was going to be here.
Shelby.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
I dug that.
Sever ties. The
he
others
do
was good too. I never.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever read it. Portacio was a super nice guy, and his line work was insane during that time. Yeah, he's one of the nicer dudes I
Very
think
nice
in
and
the
quick.
history of the world.
His wife had to kind of like
Double
push him
lighting?
away from talking to me.
Well, I know that is. Yeah, I know it's definitely. I swear I've heard bounce lighting before, but I could be wrong. But what? So many different.
Whatever the fuck, it
terms out
looks
there.
dope. Yeah.
I would say though, yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
double lighting. Is what
Yeah.
it is.
All right, guys, I gotta
Oh.
get going. I gotta sit and watch
Okay.
Totoro because I'm
Absolutely.
Fucking
Well-
kids.
all right.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
God damn it. That'll ruin a good time.
Congratulations to your friend, and I hope you
Mhm,
have a
mhm.
fantastic night. And we will see you
All right, guys. I'll see you. I gotta go.
in
So.
a few weeks. All right.
See.
All right.
Bye,
Peace,
Kayla.
guys.
Bye.
Kayla will be back with us in 2 weeks because we're not having a show next week because it is Valentine's Day, which I was told of today. So I was planning on having a show, and
So
that
where
might
are we
not have gone.
going? Where do you
might
need?
not have gone well because I wasn't even thinking about it. So yeah, I was saving that one. Job of the Creator is here. He says, "End
No.
the stream." We
Yes,
will.
We will.
Absolutely. Hey, Jimmy Reyes in the house. Hola to you, my friend. Everybody, go check out Dragon Rage. His new project is up for. Is it live or is it up for sign up right now? Here, I'm gonna mod you. You're not modded. Drop links. Jimmy,
Of other people as well, not just you. That's selfish.
go ahead and
I'm
drop a
fucking-
link
I'm
to
fucking
Dragon
with you.
Rage.
Fucking with you.
And everybody, when you see the link, go check it out, sign up, or keep an eye out, back it. It looks awesome. Seeing Portacio have multiple SDCCs, I realize why he is always late. I've never seen someone get distracted so easily. Squirrel.
Yeah. Very nice guy. Really nice guy.
Yeah. I talked to him. Well, I talked to his wife once about trying to get him on the show.
Mhm,
And this, I think this was before we were CG,
mhm.
but he seemed open to it, but he was just like, he was really busy, but they seem like very super nice. I ought to try to revisit that.
There we go.
Wetworks government assassins smothered in golden bukkake. That's
Dig it.
yeah, kind of
Let's
yeah.
dig it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
If it looks that good afterwards,
Yeah.
let's
Didn't
hook
get
it up. Let's go. Yeah. Got Survive Infinity
Yeah.
008 in the house. Hell, good to
Dude,
see
I
you.
love his monsters, his monsters, his vampires, the shaving, all of it. Fucking damn, that guy could draw. The first three were fucking off the chain. Probably
this-
top tier shit.
Yeah,
And here's my
It was-
opinion. It was awesome.
it was. And then down the pipeline, obviously you had Pit and the Max dropping, and you had Gen 13. A bunch of stuff from Extreme came out,
Mhm.
Brigade, Bloodstrike. The 90s, early 90s was just, in my opinion, ruled by Image Comics, new characters coming out, new artists, new superstars being made. What a
And
time!
again, it
guys.
was cool to be there on the front gate, the front floor for the shit. Like
Yeah.
like I was saying earlier, like my dad's was there for when Marvel came back out, and then like 30 years to the day, almost like it's like, oh, my son's doing this. So I don't have a son, I don't think so. There's nobody doing that now. So I can find a kid. Like, look
Well,
at this.
it's funny because
How much is
you
it?
feel like sometimes maybe you get in that old man get off my lawn kind of thing. Like
Oh,
my
oh,
generation was the
I've
best,
been there. I've been there for a very long time. Yeah.
But I do feel like it's not. It sounds cliche, but I honestly feel like this time, I will continue to say it until someone proves me wrong. But this time in comics, pop culture,
It's
hit
the best.
the mainstream of pop culture.
I don't like
It was a movie. The money the comics were making at the time. I don't care about the practices or like the variants and like all this kind of stuff, but just the money that was being brought in,
Yeah.
the attention that was being put on the superstar artists, more so than they'd ever been.
Yeah.
The excitement, the buzz was comics, the new characters that were coming out. I mean, think about a world before Spawn and a world after Spawn. When we talk about the comic world,
I want to live in that world.
Exactly. Spawn came out and dominated things for like a fucking decade.
Yeah.
Spawn was like always the number one comic for like the longest time. Always. It was just, yeah.
And then Wizard tried to ruin it. Those bunch of fucking cunts.
Those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Wizard
They're
used
like,
to be
this
so
is interesting.
cool.
You should get in this book. No, that shit looks trash. Fuck off, nerds.
Wizard used to be so cool, like back in the day.
Yeah.
Like the first,
I recommend this. No,
15
thank
issues
you.
or
Those twats
whatever.
owe money.
Oh, you money?
Yeah.
Let's sue him. Let's get that shit.
Chopstick.
Let's get it back.
Yeah.
Let's do it now. Bordeaux says agreed 100%. So that's why the nostalgia for Image Comics will never go away from me. I influence heavily, obviously, in my art style and character, design, story, all that kind of stuff came from the Image era of comics. It really did. Yeah, I mean, just what a time.
What you
man.
draw.
What a time.
Wait, was this like write what you know, draw what you know? Like it's with
Right.
us. It's like that gesture looks familiar. Probably. Fucking drew it 30,000 times when I was 12.
Yeah.
It's a fucking book.
Yeah, Jay is saying it still is. Bordeaux says for real, and that's I mean, the cool part and then the sad part is that this is the last time comics were really cool, relevant,
Impactful,
exciting, impactful. And that's cool because we got to see it at the prime age of just entering your teens when your imagination is still full. You can get excited about this stuff and just get immersed into the world and just fall in love with art and the characters. But it's sad because nothing is happening right now in the mainstream that is doing that. Obviously the closest is indies, CG, that kind of stuff. But it's really sad to see the industry fall off so much from the stuff that we fell in love with the first place,
And then you got these little nerds on the internet that have the audacity to trash it. You're like, oh, this looks like an image book. Fuck you. Go read your Harry Potter, you little cunt. Like, they're like, this book looks like a 90s book. Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. I love it when people try to do that as like some kind of insult. I'm like, fuck yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
What do you mean? Like that's supposed to be a bad thing?
Looks like Robert Liefeld. I'm like, yeah, I fucking achieved my goal, bitch.
It will happen again, guys, when we release our books. Yeah. And it is happening. Like in the indies or in CG specifically, because I can't speak for all indie comics. There's a lot of weird shit out there, but there's some really cool stuff out there as well. Metal
There
Shade
is.
being one of them. Everybody go check out Isaac's book.
Hell yeah.
Metal
Support that
Shade
guy.
has just got that feel to it because he came up in the same era. You know,
Yeah.
he's influenced just like we are with that kind
Another
of stuff.
Lightfeld alumni, another Lightfeld
Mhm.
kid.
Isaac Bell, everybody go check it out. Metal
Mhm.
Shade. But I see a lot of stuff with CG with Comicsgate right now. With this is the excitement of these new characters, these new creators, the art movement, and everything that's going on. It's just which is great, and we are a part of it. And
It's inspiring.
It's inspiring to be a part of it. It's fun to always look back at this and just remember where you were at this moment.
Mhm.
Because this kind of keeps the passion going. I mean, I will constantly kind of think back to this time, not necessarily when I was a kid, but thinking of like this period of time, right? Because when I was a kid, I wanted to be an adult so I could be in the industry. You know, when I'm 12 years old reading these stuff, I wish that I was like in my 20s.
Now I'm
working
41.
at
I wish I
Image.
was 11 again.
Right? Yeah.
Just because
Now,
I had
now it's the
hair.
reverse.
Just because I had hair. That's primary. It.
Oh, that's it. That was the last time your hair was 11.
No, 20s. Oh, I faked the funk for a while. I did. I guess you call it the lesbian soccer haircut, where you do the comb over.
Yes.
Damn, my head, my forehead, and my forehead and my hairline had a divorce.
Getting old sucks. It does. It does.
Yeah.
But guys, Image Comics is 31 years old this year. I can't believe it's 31. That's crazy.
You could even still get these books
It's
for dirt
crazy.
cheap. You know, it's
Well, yeah. I mean, the print runs were so high on these because they were so in demand.
Right.
And the problem was, and that's another thing. Like people like to try to throw in our faces, like, "Oh, you can go to any nickel bin and find Image Comics, all over the place."
good.
But yeah,
It's something cheap.
yeah, right. And that's fine. That's good because I like to have brand new copies. But it's not because people didn't like the books, right? Like the boom happened, and then people started really heavily collecting these books. The problem was when they went to return them, and the bubble burst, they weren't worth anything what they
Right.
thought they were going to be. So people started getting rid of them, selling them for probably pennies on the dollar. And you would also probably have a lot of LCSs stuck with a lot of back issues that they probably collected on, thinking it was going to be some kind of big shit. But I think it's cool because you can always have a memory of what this stuff was.
Yeah.
It's not like limited. It's not like rare. It's like, oh shit, it's hard to find these books. No, it's easy to find these books, and it's a good thing because this was back when comics was fun. We got the Green Laser in the house. Hail.
Yeah.
Good to see. There's Metal Shade. Everyone go check that
There
out.
you go. Hell yeah. It's our guy. But like Rob was talking about, I forget how long ago, that, yeah, a lot of these were fucking mass produced, but a lot of people threw this shit out. So like Youngblood 2, the first appearance of Prophet, like that's going for a pretty penny.
Yeah, now, especially with the movie
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. So like not
Yeah.
everybody, like however millions were made, a lot of them got destroyed or fucking what have you.
The number ones you're going to find a ton of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, yeah, it might be a little more limited runs, because I mean, the number ones obviously were just so massively produced. Before Image Comics were made by companies, there was no real idea that we could create these things ourselves, with a few exceptions like Cerberus, etc. Image taught us that we didn't need Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right. Show one
Hell,
in the
sure.
chat. Hell, if you had a friend that's like, I got Spawn number 1, and you're like, oh shit,
No.
you're gonna retire. You're gonna send the kids to college, baby. You better put that in the vault. You're gonna be a millionaire.
I missed out on Spawn number 1 when it was live on the shelves,
Okay.
and then you couldn't get it. See, that's how
Yeah.
the comics were back then, and that's why I'm saying like they were just gone. When they would come out. If
My
you missed
dad
it,
had
you
got
missed
that.
it.
Yeah.
I
he
missed the Darkness one because it was just one
Oh,
of those
really?
things that I didn't, for some reason, I just didn't
Oh, dude.
gravitate at the time,
You're not a real
and then
fan.
I couldn't get it after that.
Mark
It
who?
was it was like almost instantly on the back shelf at the comic book store for
Yeah.
$40, $50.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
like,
what happened with Youngblood 1. But
that's
like,
what happened
I-
with Spawn.
I-
Like it
I
took
got-
me forever to get Spawn.
I got Spawn 1, 2, and 3 for my birthday. The next day 4 came out. Like my dad made sure to get his, that selfish jabroni. But like Youngblood 1, I couldn't get. Like you said, it got so fucking expensive. I didn't get it till the following summer at like a Walmart in one of those plastic cases, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like I had like 4, I think
Oh
3.
yeah.
But like 1 and 2 fucking were just too expensive for my piggy bank.
McShort said most Image books are worthless, but they are awesome. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they're not gonna exactly. Bordeaux says Image newsstand edition should be some money. That's true. That could be. We got Jason Sandberg in the house says
He
one.
knows, he
I like
knows.
that. Says I love Eclipse and first more than Image, but was so happy that it proved the creators mattered more than the IPs. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that fact too. Yeah, Witchblade 1 was instant sellout.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly, guys. Go down your memory lane. Go down your memory holes
Just think.
for a second. Just dive into that memory hole, with your finger. Just finger it out for a second.
Just
there
finger
were
it
so
out.
many there's finger that memory hole. Get some stuff going. There were so many number ones that came out from Image that were just gone.
Yeah.
As soon as they came out. And if you
one.
didn't get it, you missed it. And it was instantly, I shit you not, it was like instantly $40, $50.
Yeah.
As soon it was like a month old or a couple weeks old or just whatever. It was in the back issues, it was in the back, the back shelf of the comic shop, and was just like out of your price range at a fucking 12-year-old. You're looking at that, and you're like, nope.
And you contemplate
I'll
going
never
to
read it.
jail. Yeah. They're like, you can get off.
I didn't even read Spawn 1 until I was in my late teens.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was a long time before I read because I could never afford it.
Sure.
And then the moment I actually could afford, and at the time, dude, I don't even want to tell you what I paid for Spawn 1. I'll tell you. Okay. I paid $60 for Spawn 1.
What the fuck?
Yep. It's okay. It's okay. That
Hey,
original
you're-
copy I got,
You're happy.
I got,
I'm happy.
yeah. I didn't get it to resell. I got it to collect for myself. So,
Right.
so I invested in something I
When you
wanted
got
for
those others for
myself.
$1, you're like, fuck.
I was nowadays I can find Spawn number 1 in the 25-cent bin.
Yeah.
I'm like, you mother.
Fucker. Fucking
Gen 13. Yeah, Gen 13 was another one, like you
Mhm.
said. We got Iodine 74 says January of 93, my second semester at Florida State University, met a girl who was reading Spawn because from her roommate and roommate's boyfriend were reading. I saw a Wildcats book that they had left and was blown away by the look. That's awesome, man.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
you just
very
got,
cool.
Yep, that's cool. Got Luke in the house says, "Holla if you hear me."
We can't, but we can read you. So holla.
Hey,
to see
brother,
you,
good
Luke.
to see you.
Thanks for coming
Good
by.
to see you. I remember which one was sold out at the electronics boutique in the mall. Image was everywhere. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That
I
is
got
insane.
the dark. Well, I got the Witchblade 10 variant cover, and then the Darkness variant cover from one of the fucking shops. Not the shops. One of the mail order books places, either CCS or American some other bullshit.
Mm.
Yeah, I was all about that. I bought shit in quantities. Like I would buy multiple copies and hand them out to relatives and cousins. Well, cousins
nice.
are relatives, but friends. Like I remember buying multiple copies of. Why am I pointing like you guys can look at me? At the Savage Shack in that trade, I bought like 10 of them for like maybe like $2 each, and just dispersed them to members that I knew. I was a generous guy, Joe.
It sounds like it, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Jason says, plus, so many artists got great paydays who were dicked around in the 80s. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there was a lot of money flying around.
Rob was a big opponent for handing out the wealth, like making sure people got their money's worth.
Yeah, he paid probably I would say
the best. Yeah.
Yeah, probably the best of all and all the Image guys paid very well.
Yeah.
From what I heard, but
Yeah.
I feel like Rob really threw around some money because he had it, you know, and that's cool. That's very generous.
Yeah.
Iodine 74 says, so I've got like 4 to 5 short boxes of all the early Image stuff. Wildstorm was my favorite. Let me ask you a question, Iodine 74. Big fan of Wildstorm. I don't know. See, like me, when I say I'm a big fan of Wildstorm, I'm a big fan of Wildstorm pre-sale and not so much everything that was after the sale. But I know that you were all part of the Wildstorm group there on Facebook, and there's some people out there pretty excited about The Authority becoming a movie. I personally could care less because I never read The Authority. It wasn't characters that appealed to me, but I'm just wondering if you're such a big Wildstorm fan, what do you think about that? Because I see people are kind of torn about it. So throw that question out to you. Sean, what about you? I actually haven't talked to you about that yet.
If it was Miller's kind of incarnation of them, yeah, but I could care less, to be honest with you, about the movie. I just had no passion for this shit anymore. Like, let's just say, like the new Ant-Man movie. Will I see it? Probably. Will I go out to the theater?
When it
It's
comes
gonna
to
be pretty
stream.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to like the
But
Authority.
I did really enjoy Miller's run on it. Ellis, it's fine. Just wasn't really my cup of tea. But hey, if somebody likes it, good for you. You'll win. But I'm not gonna be rushing out there to see it.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's just gonna be all a bunch of like dick and ball jokes, and I do that enough myself that I don't need to pay money to see it on the big screen.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in a lot of the newer stuff.
Nah,
DC Universe these days.
not one bit.
But what I am excited about is the potential Prophet movie and Spawn movie, if it ever happens, coming to the screen one day, and then getting some of the actual early image properties out on the big screen. I think if done right, it could be cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, I hope somebody got in Todd's ear about what he wanted to do with Spawn and told him, like, no, that's not what any of the fans want to see you do with your Spawn movie.
I think he got the message.
Yeah, because I think it's going to be completely different now. Like, I feel like I think the story is going to be a little bit more.
It's going to be like The Ring, Monster in the Shadows. Like, oh yeah.
I was like, no, Todd, no,
It's
please
not
don't.
stupid.
No,
Yeah.
make the movie of what everybody wants it to be. Not got Rick in the house.
Hail,
Remember
brother.
the channel? Hail, brother.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. John Leguizamo wants them to cast a real demon to play Violator in the next Spawn movie.
Representation counts.
I was just gonna say, I could see that. Yep, I could see him saying it.
He's like, why don't
They should have a
they should go to hell and they should go pick up a real demon. What about the demons that are not? I can't believe we're having this conversation. It's awesome.
That's awesome. That was a good one.
Oh my god. What the fuck is wrong with
That was good. Love it. Love the chat. Like I was buying all the Wildstorm stuff and homage. I can never, homage stuff. For those first few years, was also getting a decent amount of the extreme stuff. Hell yeah! But Wildstorm is what I excited to be at the time.
Nice.
Same here. Like I got into Wildstorm first, and then Extreme Studios, and then Top Cow when Top Cow formed. And I was always into Spawn. I was just late. Obviously, I didn't get issue 1 for a long time, but I was into Spawn. I was into Savage Dragon.
It's hard to
right?
be like, I like this more or this more, but at the time, I just love them all. Like, because it was every week there, maybe sometimes later than the others, we get something new. So like, my intention would be all about that. Like I'm all about Youngblood. And then, a new issue of Savage Dragon. I'm all about this. Oh my God, Wildcats, Cyberforce. What? Like, as like an 11, 12-year-old kid, we had the attention span of a fucking amoeba. So like, our love was whatever was right in front of us.
That's true. Like I never had any bitching about the books being late because I actually didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
Like life was going on, right? Like other stuff besides comics. So when it came out, you read it.
What about porn? And I was in the underwear.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that kind of stuff never bothered me at the time because it didn't really.
There's so much shit coming out,
dude. I would, honestly, I lived in the country, so I would only be able to go to the comic book store like maybe once a month, or maybe once every couple months, depending on when mom. We lived 40 minutes away from the nearest like city.
Damn.
Yeah, 40 minutes away from the nearest comic book shop.
How
The
did you
only
survive?
time I didn't know any better.
Jesus
So it's just
Christ.
what it was. Just what it was, I got my allowance money, or I did chores. I had that all saved up, knowing that we were going to go to the comic book store, and I was going to spend hours there until every cent of my money was gone, and I was going to walk out with bags full of comic books, and I just go and I'd read them for as long as I could read them, and then we go back to the store. So that's why I say like there are books that I missed.
Yeah.
Because I missed when they came out, and I would always have to go back and get back issues. But I was always so much into the art that sometimes that didn't matter to me. Because I wasn't really, honestly, I wasn't reading these books at 12, 13 years old. I was looking at them, and drawing.
Think about the story progression goes.
Yeah.
It's like, this fucking panel is awesome. So is the next one. There's a big close up of an eye. That's great. You know, like, yo, you've never been to a comic shop until the day that you had to get buzzed in to get into a comic shop. Like, that's what it's all about. Going to the ghetto.
I've been to one shop in Brooklyn where it was a double decker
Okay.
or a 2-story.
Yeah.
Well, I was on tour there once, and me and my guitarist, I found out was a comic book fan after like a couple years of being in the band together, and then we were like, "Oh, comics!"
Yeah.
So when we would start to try to go find comic book stores when we would have time when we come into a city or something, and so we looked up like the nearest one to the venue we were playing at, and it was within walking distance, of a little ways. So we went out on an adventure and went there and found the comic book store and spent a bunch of time in it. I was like, so this is a New York comic book store.
Oh, dude, they're great. Like the gritty and grimy ones. Like,
it was cool. I loved
my
it.
dad would take me places like we have to go downstairs to make a left, and there it is. And you know what's cool? Like just to get like a little personal time, Sean Ahrendt personal time, hear me out, story time with Sean Ahrendt.
There we go.
Where I had my internship in Manhattan for Southern Industries when they called it web TV at the time. What we're doing now, that was the fucking height of this shit, like the beginning of the world. So anyway, So here's my building right by the Flatiron building. My dad and my mom worked at the old MetLife building. That's how they met at a bar in this one circle by Empire State. Then there was a little, I think it was Cosmic Comics. I don't know, but the comic book store that was across the street had like this cool Silver Surfer sign that you pull out, take out, and pull it. I don't know.
That's what was cool about comic book shops back in. I mean, they still kind of do that, but like all their like standees and stuff that they would have. As a kid walking into something like that.
Yeah, fucking. Oh man, see, it's weird. Like there was always comic shops around us. So like you trucking out from the country, like you and Jedediah, getting on the horse and buggy, and like we'll be there by next February.
It took a while. Like I said, 40-minute drive to get there. Wiley J Draws Hale says Sean never been to the country. I don't think Sean has been to the country.
Yeah, I have. We got the sticks up in Jersey. Like 40 minutes away, we had Rampo Mountains. 40 minutes away the other way, we had Times Square. It was a beautiful life.
Got Mike McMahon in the house.
What's up, brother?
Hale, brother. Good to see you. Missed this era of Rob.
This is a good era. Yeah.
Like we talk a lot about Rob Liefeld on this channel, just in general, because we're fans of Rob and have been for forever. But I will say my favorite work of Rob, and this is no diss to the stuff he's doing now, because I think he's doing fantastic stuff now with his current comic book runs. My favorite run of Rob, just like Jim, is this first few years. Let's say first four or 5 years of Image Comics.
Youngblood 6, from Youngblood 4 to 6 in that vicinity, like he got Danny Mickey to tighten up the inks, do some little new
big jump.
The color rate,
that style, the colors,
phenomenal shit. I love that stuff.
Yep, that's my favorite era of Robert. I love the stuff with Mickey and Sabal. Like those two guys just did very good compliments of Rob's work.
And this is just raw. Like this is awesome. Like
this is him inking himself on this.
Yeah. Look at that. I love that gesture. Like I draw this all the time.
The
energy, the
movement.
Vibrance. Yeah.
We got Wolfer in the house. Says hail Joe, Sean, Kayla, and the chat. Hail to you. Hope you're doing
Thank
great.
you for coming.
Jay says, I miss going to the LCS days when I was a kid. Just a conversation and debates about heroes and the smell of the paper.
Oh, I missed this. I miss going to my dad's boxes and taking out the old comics and just reading of like the mold. It wasn't mold, but it was old smell.
The mold. No, that's the smell of comic books back in the day. That's something that was taking me right back to freaking 92, 93. Because my room would just smell like that. Because when I would read comics, I'd just litter the floor, the carpet with just stacks of books. I'd just sit there and I'd just pick up stuff and just flip through for hours, Yeah, and I love the smell of the paper. Sexual. The feet, baby. Feet are all over the place.
I love it.
Love it. I'm in the minority, but I don't like the stuff he's done the last 10 years. I get you. Man, art subjective, And I completely get it. I look at Rob's stuff now, and I feel like it's drawn more correct, right? Like he's made an effort to like silence the critics or whatever, blah blah blah. Because he is classically trained, or drawn. That's not the right word, is it right? But he is.
That guy could draw a fucking portrait like that. I
He
could
can
tell you,
draw. Yeah,
he
maybe
could
it is
draw
classically trained. Yeah, he can draw a fantastic portraits and
yeah.
life like pictures. Like the dude's
Yeah.
a fantastic artist, and that's funny when people always shit on him. Like, dude, they're like, Rob can't draw. I'm like, dude, Rob,
Rob can,
he can draw, man.
Yeah.
He chooses, and he's even said this before. He chooses to draw like this because it's
Well, he
fun.
wants-
It's what
yeah,
he
it's
loves.
fun.
It's what he wants to do, and that as an artist is all you really want to do is draw the way that you want to do. And
you know, that's
more
inspiring
power to
because
Rob for doing
when we're fucking laboring over, oh, is this leg properly up or whatever or foreshortened? It's kind of like, fuck that. Does it look cool? You know, like
yeah.
it's like, no, this shouldn't be this way. Fuck you. This looks cooler. Leave me alone.
I do agree with you, Mike. I do agree with you on that. Yep.
Mhm.
And that's why I love the 90s work so much. You know, despite how much shit he gets on or people get on him about the styles. Like there's just you want to make dynamic, fun comics, you draw something that's energy, dynamic, fun to look at. That's
Mhm.
all this is fun to look at. Don't give me boring comic books.
No.
Even when it really sucks when you're reading a comic book and the action is boring. That's because it's not drawn with any kind of entertaining, value to it.
Well, you know, I say that to say this, and I tell you this: sign up for Reaper Destroyer. Get the Destroyer tier, best money for your bang for your buck, and sign up for Type 1 on Indiegogo.
Yes.
Not as good as the Bible, but it's definitely better than Squirrel Girl, and that's my
Yeah.
guarantee.
100%. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see energy like this, dynamics like this, except for obviously drawn in a modern age,
Yeah.
but that's we came from this world of learning how to tell stories, learning how to draw.
Yeah.
And I really the people that are my favorite artists of today, and I'm not talking about just the people in the industry, but the people like in Comicsgate are people that draw in this kind of style.
Yeah.
Because I see what I love, and like this is it. This is what comic books should look like to me.
Yeah.
Not newer age kind of art. Jason said classic Rob has the energy and the fluidity of a sketch, but the finish of formalism. It's a tightrope, and he usually nailed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Green Laser. Appreciate you, brother. We got all the links below too, guys. So if you don't see them pop up in the chat, we have links if you go in the description below for our books, and where you can follow us too. So please check out. We'll cover that before we get out of here. But we got influx of people coming in here, so appreciate you guys joining us. If you have joined us, we already ran this video through once, but we were just this was more of us just talking about this time in comics and pretty much like how it made to it, how much.
Reading the phone we left, like I love this so much. Look at that.
And then just having this kind of play in the background, looking at all the number ones from the original Image founders. So, but I do see 43 people in here. If you haven't yet, guys, please hit the like button, hit the bellification, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, share it with your friends and family. Get it out there. Fun channel. We got Appreciating Comic Book Arts on Tuesdays at 10 and Art and Stuff on Thursdays at 8. Can't miss shows. Very fun.
Yeah, and if you are, I don't want to see you.
But yeah, this is the era of comics where I consider to be the best.
Yeah,
hands down by a lot of things. And we could go on and talk about it, but I feel like most of the people in the chat are with us on this. Even it's funny because I've seen this topic broached on certain platforms before, and just see like it's kind of cool to see everybody's opinion on the best eras, right? So it probably depends on when you were born, and I could definitely do that, but I will still give a bit of the leg up to the 90s as opposed to other eras, any kind of argument, straight up 90s, because of everything we talked about, especially the fact that it hit pop culture and took it to another level.
Look, if this shit doesn't all around, this doesn't inspire you to want to create, then I don't know what does. This is awesome.
That's I would love to talk to a younger creator these days and see what it is.
I wouldn't. They'd be like, have you read this manga? No.
To see, but still, I just want to see what it is that's inspiring them to create, like this inspired us to create, and just see if it's what's being spawned out there, so to speak.
Ooh.
Blue Boy says, I hate the robot, I hate Rob's art. I love his passion and respect that he creates and draws the way he does. Fair enough.
I don't know.
Fair enough. Met him twice, made me a fan. He cares about folks, 100%.
Good people.
Yep. The 90s
Yep.
sold comics, can't deny that. 100%, man.
That's a truth.
Well stated.
Oh shit. We got
Yeah.
Chauncey in the house.
Oh my god. Wait, did I miss him? Where'd he
Yes,
go?
he did. He's up there.
Where?
Under Blue Boy, above Blue Boy.
Oh shit. I did miss him. Right there. Youngblood 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10 is my favorite run of Rob's. It was exactly what we were
shit.
talking
Yeah,
about
Yeah.
probably about 15 minutes ago or so. Yeah. Like we're in agreement there for sure. Rob's
Yeah,
podcast is great. I listen to it on almost every Tuesday and Fridays. There's sometimes he covers subjects that is here nor there to me, but I love it when he talks about this era with Marvel and then Image. Like those are my favorite
Mhm.
pods when he talks about this specific era. I could listen to people talk from this time and insider stories for hours. I never get bored of it.
It's cool that they're finally getting out there. You know, like there's certain stories that he's told, like us from the Life
For
group.
a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know if I should be telling people that. You know? But then I would tell my friends who aren't comic book friends. I'm like, yo, you don't know what happened with this. Like, we don't give a fuck. We're in fucking stocks and trading. We're accountants. You know?
Yeah, Mike Murphy in the house is I think
Yeah.
90s detractor lose my voice. Detractors look at the era through a narrow lens. There was such a wide range of classic Image, Vertigo, Kingdom Come, JLA, etc. An incredible time full of classics. Yeah, 90s in general, for sure. Absolutely. You know, all around, we talk a lot about Image, but don't get me wrong. I mean, Marvel and DC did some huge things and had some huge talents in the 90s as well.
I thought Zero Year was cool. I went out and got all of them. You know?
Zero, that was cool. I
Zero
thought that
Hour.
it was a cool
Zero Hour.
Zero
Yeah.
Hour. Yeah, it was a cool
Yeah.
concept. It was, yeah, it was
There's a
interesting.
lot
at
of
the
shit
time.
I was into, like the Ray. Love the Ray. Fucking great book.
I mean, just think of other stuff too, like the death of Superman and the breaking of Batman's back, and
Oh, that wouldn't have happened if not for these guys.
Age of Apocalypse.
Oh yeah. That's all because of this. All because of what these guys did. 'Cause
So
there's
in
competition.
general, Image Comics just made the 90s.
Oh, No,
honestly,
facts.
straight up, Image Comics made the 90s. Everything that happened that was cool with the big guys were related to Image as well.
Yeah.
And Heroes Reborn, which I really liked. Some people don't, I guess.
Fuck them.
I didn't know that until like recently.
Oh,
I
really?
see people talking trash, more people
Cool.
talking trash about it.
Bring me
Just,
these nerds.
Group people, right? Facebook group people.
Nah, nerds.
Bone, Hellboy, Sin City, Stray Bullets. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. Man, a lot of great stuff. The indies in the 90s were great too. Like the indie books. Just
Yeah.
having, thinking about that. She, Lady Death,
Arachnus.
Arachnus was a fun indie book.
I remember
Cyberfrog
meeting
came
them.
out.
Yeah. Cyberfrog, Creed, love Creed. Such a huge fan of Creed. And
Oh,
Frank
Creed,
Creed.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I felt
Bone.
like that was kind of the artsy fartsy of the whole deal. Of his art,
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
Graffiti McFarlane to a degree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love Creed.
Who is that? Zen?
Yeah,
Galactic
yeah,
Ninja,
Intergalactic.
or
Yeah,
Intergalactic Ninja. That was a cool kid. Grendel?
Grendel. Yeah.
That was
I think
that was
Grendel
Dark Horse, so
80s-ish.
wasn't it?
I think so. I think Grendel was. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that came out a little before
I
that.
could be mistaken.
I'm just trying to think of some
I
of the
remember
stuff on
getting
the
Grendel
shelves like that.
Batman in '93. That was cool.
Okay. You had to be there and live through it to understand the mania. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably it. That makes us feel old. You had to be there.
In my day, I had to walk to the comic book store, and Joe had to go on a horse and buggy.
I remember when comics actually made money.
You remember how much it cost to get a blowjob? Whoa. We had to worry about the clap, and now we got the COVID. It's I don't know.
What was really unfortunate, the younger generation don't look at this art and relate to video games and want to be professional YouTubers. That's true.
Yeah.
That's why
Yes, Evil
still-
Ernie.
Ooh, Evil
I
Ernie.
got to
some
meet
Evil
Stephen
Ernie.
Hughes and Brian Polito and I think Justino. back in like '96, dude. Oh, I loved Evil Ernie, like the first miniseries. Wait, well,
That
when he
it was just a
came
cool
out,
character.
what a cool character! Chris
Yeah,
Grace
what
just
a-
redid Evil Ernie, I think, a piece.
Did he?
Oh my
shit.
god, I love Evil Ernie. Like,
Yeah,
like
what
just
an awesome
the
character.
guts and Smiley the pen, dude. We should talk about that one of these times. Chaos Comics.
I've got some, but not a lot.
Okay. I'm
So
sure we could
maybe
find
something we could
ways.
do on like art and stuff, because on here I like to make sure that we have a lot of visuals for our conversations. Whereas maybe we can do something on art and stuff where we don't.
What would be
because
the
we have-
difference? What would be the difference? We could just fucking pull shit out of our ass. It's the internet.
Well, we could do that. Yeah, maybe we'll figure something out.
Okay,
yeah.
you have your people talk to my people.
I
which is-
might have
which is
to. I might have to track down some more chaos. But yeah, chaos was great.
Yeah.
What they
yeah.
did. What else, man? Yeah, I see Grendel was a Comico at first.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I can't remember. I just remember the character.
Visually cool. Like there was a couple different incarnations of him. One where he looked more buff. One that was more sleek and slender. That's kind of what I know from the Batman.
Yeah, that was the one I knew more of. Was the more ninja, sleek and slender, athletic.
hmm
Yeah, Grendel was big. She was getting big. Image, Valiant in the Malibu. Oh, Malibu.
I love Malibu.
Yeah, Malibu too has some really cool
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Okay. You could say it's kind of like Image 2.0, not 2.0, but like the B level, C level.
I was just gonna say,
But they
yeah,
were
like
so
the miners,
fucking
right?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was
cool.
the Image miners. Yeah, right.
Prime, Prototype,
Prime was a
Room,
cool character.
Hard Case. You know, he was cool. You know, there was just some cool ass shit.
Yeah, they had some good stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
there was some stuff I collected. I don't know if I'd say collected, but I read Prime
got,
for a little
yeah.
bit. You know,
Yeah.
Prime was a cool book. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Malibu.
No.
Valiant was the company I actually didn't really like. There
I
was a
gotta
lot of
admit,
stuff
I
that-
kind of enjoyed them. I've talked trash about them on here.
a lot of
like
people. I would say a lot of people do. A
Yeah.
lot of people do. I'm in the minority with that for sure.
You know what? They didn't
Ooh,
get
Rick
okay.
Taylor says I got some Evil Ernie.
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah!
have
All
to,
right.
I
You
need
can
to
make
get
this
some of
happen. If Rick is
Take some
free,
videos of me and send it. Wait,
Yeah.
take some videos and send them to me. You know, what I'm
take
saying.
some videos of me
You know
and
what I'm
send them.
saying.
You know what I mean?
take some videos of me and send them to me.
Yeah.
Ultra Force, thank you. I was
and
trying
the
to
cartoon was mad dope.
Mm-hmm.
They had their own little stream.
Sunday
You can check
mornings.
that out. Yeah, Sunday mornings.
Sunday
yeah.
mornings.
UP,
I come home from church and I watch Ultra Force.
Yeah, same.
stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Now that's why
Defiant
Master
Comics.
Bastion is bad. Oh, I met Jim Shooter when he was coming back out with that. Yeah. You know,
I don't know if I remember any titles from that.
Was
If I
that with
do, it just
Warriors of
stands out.
Plasma? Was that what Plasma was under? Because there was another one where it was just kind of like a guy in like a trench coat with a tie. And that I thought was really boring, but I got it. But
Sure.
Warriors of Plasma or Plasm, that was cool.
By the way, hail Nicholas Gear. Good to
Yes,
see you,
bro.
brother.
He was here
I don't
earlier.
know if I. Oh yeah, you were here earlier.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I never forget you.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Nicholas too.
Rick Saylor, it's made by Dynamite. I expect nothing less. What were you guys talking about?
Oh, the new Evil Ernie?
Oh, is there a new Evil Ernie?
Yeah.
Well, the problem, man, I keep losing my voice. Sorry, getting over having a 4-day flu. So this is the best I've felt, and I've actually gone a little bit. I've gone longer than I thought I was going to
Yeah.
go.
We're gonna do a little small show.
But the thing about Evil Ernie and the early Chaos stuff was Steve Hughes.
Yeah.
You know,
what a
and the
gentleman.
influence visually he had
Yeah.
on that. You know, so to me, it's kind of hard to duplicate that, even with some of the new Lady Death stuff. And they've put out some really cool books with some fantastic artists. But that early stuff, there's just something about the early stuff, you know, that is,
Yeah.
maybe it's nostalgia. I don't know.
And that shit was colored with like markers and dye. Dark domain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what that was. Yeah. What are we talking about?
This what?
What were we talking about? I forgot. I got the mind of an amoeba.
Evil Ernie. We were talking about Evil Ernie. Steve Hughes in Chaos. Yeah.
Oh, I would
colors,
draw that spread of Lady Death, whether she was like this or like this, but her legs were fucking out, and like the energy queen coming.
Well,
I drew that on the back of my like 8th grade.
Hey.
Like they give you like a. That's what I'm saying. You know, like you know like 8th grade would have like their 8th grade party or whatever. It's like class of '95. I drew that fucking on the back. They made me turn that shit inside out.
Well, I think that was, I mean, that was the appealing thing to me, obviously, of Lady Death was the supermodel poses, scantily clad character.
Yeah,
You know, like that
yeah.
was like, I had to look around the comic book shop to make sure my mom wasn't paying attention. Like, quick, grab it, and like look through it, put it back up on the shelf. Good stuff.
I got 15 cents.
Oh shit. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna have to end this here. I think my voice is going. But I do want to say thank you guys, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. I know there was a lot of people streaming, so we appreciate you being here. Before you guys go, I just want to say, please go and sign up for Type 1. The link is below, and I'm sure Rick will probably drop one in here in a second. This is Sean's book. Sean.
Yeah, it's got some ties to the old world. Anunnaki kind of brings upon these orbs filled with the 9 lords of the night, with also some armor to safeguard them, and it scatters them out through Mesoamerica. Fast forward a couple centuries, and we meet our main antagonist, Thomas DeHart, who stumbles upon the armor and becomes the hero we know, Strees. And it's just an 80s and 90s action adventure throwback with just the love of everything we just spoke about. Thank you, brother. Everything we spoke about is in this book.
Is in this book.
In this book.
Everything we spoke about, everything we've seen has spawned this kind of stuff. You know, same thing with
pun intended.
Pun intended. Same thing with Reaper Destroyer, which is my book. It's here somewhere. There it is. We are actually, I have to refresh this. I think I got a couple other backers the other day. So let's see where we're at. We're at $56,510.
Wow! Congratulations!
Thank you. Thank you. That is awesome.
And you're welcome, nerds. This wouldn't happen if it wasn't for me.
That is true, Sean. I was debating on what to do actually anything, whether it was trying to still get into the mainstream.
I'm going to do some anthology book.
That that too. Yeah. I had a bunch of people approaching me for that kind of stuff, and Sean's like, "Fuck that, do Reaper Destroyer again." So I will. Thank you to Sean. But this is my book, Reaper Destroyer. It's a story about a man who's trapped inside a supernatural suit of armor, inhabited by the ancient spirit of death, who's trying to inhabit his soul. This is everything. Damn it, wrong page. This is everything you would love about the 90s action, dark sci-fi, fantasy characters, with just an amazing team that I put together on this book, including top cow legends Matt Bat Banning and Joe Weems doing some inks on the book. And also have brought in some inkers as well to help out on the project that are very talented. You have Shelby Robertson, awesome cover, as well as the great Dale Keown throwing that down with some amazing. All I gotta say, amazing. 70K on our way. Let's do it. Let's do it.
And hopefully on Thursday and stuff, I should be revealing a colored page finally. So pretty excited for that. Yeah. Yeah. Last week on Jay with Jay and John, I was like, John's like, "What's that stuff around his arm?" I'm like, it's just energy blast shit. What do I tell you? And Jonesy likes to clown. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's blast energy. Shit.
Be sure to check out the Destroyer tier, like Sean was saying. I see Rick saying it in the chat as well. This gets you everything on the campaign except the black and white ash can. It doesn't get that in there because why it doesn't do it is because there's an exclusive full foil ash can that nobody's going to get unless you get this box. So at this point, there's only 37 are ever going to be made and shipped out. So highly exclusive collectible in that. But you get everything, including the mystery books. One of the mystery books was this cover revealed. I'm going to reveal the second mystery book coming up here. I'm going to try to wait until after Godlike 2's Second Chance, or Godlike 1 Second Chance launches. And then I'm going to show you guys. We're doing a supplemental book that's going to have backup stories by some fantastic artists. And I've got some art that I can't wait to show you guys to help promote for it, because it's going to be badass. We're going to do an entire supplemental book on this campaign, and that will be included in the Destroyer tier as well. Besides that, we will be back here Thursday. Out and stuff, 8 o'clock. We're going to be talking to, let me look at schedule real quick.
Chimera, the Quaff,
and Comics Made as well.
Comics Made, yes.
Having all three of those guys on, going to have a fun time. I believe that all of those guys are young. I think like this is like the younger generation, right, of artists, like the extremely talented people that are coming up in their 20s or something like that.
So they don't need pills to get. Never mind.
So we will we'll talk to them on Thursday. No show next week. Happy Valentine's Day. My birthday will be the day after. Just remember that. Valentine's Day and then Joe M. Sontag's birthday on the 15th. Okay.
I
Hint.
feel like you're dropping hints here.
Hint. People out there. Hint. I may or may not stream on that day. We'll see what's going on. But if we do, it's going to be late and it's just going to be a hangout show and we're going to have a fun time. Until then, we're going to get the hell on up out of here. As always, take care of each other. Be good to one another. And as always, picture me naked. Peace.
It's time for type 1. More importantly.